This month's Hero of the Month sale at Alternate Reality features the Bloody Pulps. That's right, all of my pulp reprints and all of my pulp trade paperbacks are all 25% off all month long at Alternate Reality. Now this includes The Shadow, Doc Savage, The Avenger, G8 and his Battle Aces, Spider, High Adventure, and many, many other fine titles. And Planet Stories as well. And if you pick up Planet Stories, you can find out the secret of the Queen of the Martian Catacombs. So be sure to stop off at Alternate Reality all month long for our Hero of the Month sale.
It's time for wrestling news, and I happen to know that Bo wrestles with the all you can eat buffet at IHOP.
Stop the program!
Fight News, episode 24. You said finger sandwiches.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to one more glorious, outstanding episode of Comicbookmans Video Outhouse. You betcha. I'm running on vapors and I'm trying to keep the energy going.
For a minute I thought we were in the middle of a 300 promo.
Hey, you never can tell. The Video Outhouse coming to you as we always do from Alternate Reality Incorporated, the comic book fantasy land situated here near the intersection of 111th and Kedzie in the... Help me out, Paul. Mundane Chicago neighborhood of Mount Greenwood. It's where we say mundane. In reality, it's a non-stop party. I am your humble servant, Uncle Peter.
This is Bo. How you doing,
That's Bo. How you doing? And we've just decided to up our classy
We're up
quotient.
in the game here, kids.
Yeah, we're gonna try and make each other look good. We're bringing in a new friend. And
the newest member of our broadcast team.
The newest member of the Video Outhouse crew, and you may or may not have seen her before. Tatiana. Hi.
Hello.
Welcome to our party.
Thank you for having me.
We're bringing you into the deep end right away. MMA.
Yeah.
All right.
MMA news. You know anything about MMA?
No, teach me.
Well, this will be as big an experience for you as it will be for me.
Looking forward to
Yeah, I know. I keep defending you guys every time there's a comment.
Thank God we've got him.
Right.
Anyway, as I said before, we're going to be talking MMA news. And we're going to kick it right off with a very big name, one of the biggest, one of the all-time legends. That would be Tito Ortiz, a.k.a. Jenna Jameson's plaything. Mr. Jenna Jameson.
Mr. Jenna Jameson.
What's up with Tito?
Well, this season 11 of The Ultimate Fighter is going to start on the 31st, basically starting the Wednesday after we're taping this. The coaches for this season are Tito Ortiz and Chuck Liddell. But there are these
big name.
There are these rumors floating around that Tito is not going to be fighting Liddell in June when the season's over with. Supposedly he did or he did not injure his ribs, and so everyone's going up to Dana White and asking what's going on.
What's going on?
I'm
sure you're waiting with bated breath.
I am bated breath.
You could tell.
Well, Dana's usually never at a loss for words, and so he told people just wait and see, because the rumor is that Tito won't fight, and yet Liddell will fight Rich Franklin, and then Franklin may come in the middle of the season and replace Tito.
Make sure you tune in and have your program handy, because you're going to need it to keep track of these.
Yeah, because there's 28 fighters in this season and 2 coaches and a whole bunch of other people.
Anyway, more stuff from Ultimate Fighter. This don't make no sense. A guy works for somebody else, but now he's going to work for...
One of Chuck's assistant coaches is Jake Shields.
Jake Shields
works for Strikeforce.
Which is a different federation.
Strikeforce is the direct competition to UFC.
Uh-huh.
Jake Shields is also fighting former UFC fighter Dan Henderson in April on CBS.
Uh-huh.
So basically, the UFC is promoting a fighter for another promotion, but Dana White goes, well, you know what's interesting about all this? Jake's only got one fight left in his contract.
He's got one fight left.
Guess who the fight's against?
Do tell.
Dan Henderson.
No,
it's not.
No. But a good guess.
So
it's the only name either one of us knows.
Once it's over with, Jake becomes a free agent. So Dana White says,
come on down.
If Jake wants to fight for UFC, fine. But if Jake doesn't want to fight for UFC, then I'm going to basically make sure Strikeforce has to pay through the nose to give you a bigger contract.
Oh, what a guy.
I really like Dana
What
White.
a guy.
He's one of my favorite people. He's more interesting than Vince McMahon.
Well, Dana White's up to something else, too. Having to do with Strikeforce. It gets really complicated and really, really petty from here on out.
On our last report, we said that because the 4/17 CBS Strikeforce show was going on, there were rumors that Spike was going to do a free fight night on that same night, based in the same city. Dana White says, I never said that. Reporters came to me and asked me questions about it, and I never gave them an answer, and so they sort of took that information and ran with it. We have no interest in competing against Strikeforce on that night. And besides, Strikeforce is going to be out of business in 6 to 8 months anyway, so who gives a crap?
Death by attrition.
Right.
Or victory by attrition.
Because as Dana said, there's been a whole bunch of people who've been in our competition, and everybody, little by little, they all seem to fail.
How about that? Kind of like the WWE.
Kinda like-
Everybody goes against Vince. No. Isn't he fascinating?
It's amazing.
Very.
Okay, it looks like UFC has got something. This is a lot of UFC heavy this time.
It's very UFC heavy.
Okay, we got injury notes.
If you watched the first UFC on Versus show, which was last week, there's going to be a second one, by the way, in August. There were 3 injuries. Paul Bocepheus suffered a very severely dislocated finger and had to tap out. His finger almost got ripped out.
Ow.
Dwayne Bang Lowick, he suffered a severe...
He's trying to rip something else out.
Yeah, he had a severe ankle fracture. He's going to be out for 6 months. And if you watch the main event, Brandon Vera ended up with 3 fractured bones in his cheekbone. This bone right here when he fought John Jones.
I'm using yours because they can see your cheekbones, not ours so much.
Jones hit him with an elbow.
We're too puffy.
It hit him right there, and then right after that, Vera stopped, and when the fight was over with, he couldn't open up his eye, and it was really looking ugly.
Oh, that sucks.
So he's going to see a doctor to see exactly when he can get his cheekbones fixed.
Get your face fixed, Brandon, and all the best quickly.
How do you have surgery on cheekbones anyway? They have to take the skin off, right?
It's either that or just do this magic voodoo puzzle.
He's going to look like Nick. Does he have to wear an eye patch for that?
Anyway,
Halloween mask.
in keeping with our trend of WWE news invading other pieces. Wait a minute, this sounds much better. This is much better.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Except
let me see how long you stay down there.
Except my
Let's
knees are blowing out.
There you
Anyway,
Maria Kanellis.
yes, the
Former
diva.
WWE diva.
Diva.
She has a new gig besides having a record album that's coming out next month. She is basically doing backstage broadcasts on the HGNET Fights broadcast team. Her first show was on the 26th.
Mark Cuban's.
It's Mark Cuban's
network,
little.
right?
It's Mark Cuban's little network.
Yeah.
And she's doing a bit as a backstage interviewer, and she's got an album coming out called 7 Sins, like in the middle of April.
So she's going to be a pretty busy girl.
Maria's, and she's also in Celebrity Apprentice, which sort of goes, why do you cut someone who's on TV every week? How
Anyway,
stupid can you get?
you got to wonder about these guys sometimes.
We didn't number this story, but this is our last story.
Yeah, it was. I dropped the ball. I'm very sorry. Please forgive me.
Roger Huerta,
Huerta.
who was the first MMA fighter to ever be on the cover of Sports Illustrated. And I still have that cover. He's the first and he's the only MMA fighter to ever be on the cover of Sports Illustrated. He left UFC to start working on acting. He's in the Tekken video game adaptations.
Okay.
But he signed a contract with the Bellator Fighting Championships group, which, by the way, will be doing 2 shows here at the Chicago Theater.
Cool. So make sure
And-
you get your tickets.
But it's like
I've
a
already got mine.
Did you?
I did.
You're teasing. You're kidding me, right?
No.
No, she is. I saw her
She
when
did.
she was buying the tickets.
She's hardcore.
I didn't even know who
She
she was.
really
And
is.
I said, look, somebody buying tickets. And it was
They got blood on them.
They do. Hey, she's
So anyway-
tougher than I am.
What's really cute about Huerta is the fact that Huerta actually had a belt and everything, but for the Bellator Fighting Championship things, he's in an 8-person tournament, and if he wins, he gets to become the new light heavy champion.
Very
but
cool.
if he doesn't win, then he only gets to fight once or twice. So he gets to fight.
So he's got like an incentive to,
right. If
to
he,
do good.
If he keeps doing this, he can fight 4 times in 1 year, which is basically what he wants to do. He wants to keep fighting. He says, I can fight every 2-3 months.
That way he can do his other stuff too.
And he can still do acting stuff.
Very cool. Well, good luck to you, Raj. And thank you for hanging in with us this far, folks. Aren't you glad you wandered in? Don't you feel just
Yes, I am.
all full of newfound MMA information?
Very.
Hey,
Yes.
great.
Yes.
Newfound.
Fountain of info
he
this
breaks
man
out
is.
all these brand new words, and people are going, huh? You know, when we get the comments, they go, what is that word he's talking about?
There is no reason we cannot be educational as well as informative and entertaining.
I agree.
Right.
God
Well, your
made
dictionary.
dictionaries for a reason.
That's
What
what they
she
have.
says. And remember, the thesaurus right next to the T-Rex at the Field Museum. Go look it up. And for looking up more of this stuff, more WWE, TNA, comic book media news, all the other stuff you can find at Alternate Reality's website. You met Sarah, haven't you?
Tatiana.
Yes.
Who knows where the website is?
Sarah.
And where is she?
Sarah, she's right here.
Right?
This is just to keep me busy, isn't it?
Yes.
www.myalternatereality.com.
Cool.
Anyway, Uncle Peter, Bo, Tatiana, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
You made us look good just by your presence. And that's it.
That's all we
We're
got.
out of here. See ya!